Well, hey, welcome to our kickoff live to celebrate Redemption Press's 9-year-old birthday. No, sorry, 9-year birthday. There we go.
Anniversary.
And we are celebrating 9. There we go, 9. And we're going to come, in fact, we're going to have 9 lives. Pun fully intended. Thank you, Ann Griffith. We're going to come to you live 9 times between now and our actual birthday, which is a week from this Friday. And so we're not going to come to you on Sunday, but every day between now and a week from Friday, we're going to be here every day at this time. And we are going to do our best to keep it to 19 minutes a day. That'll be a feat.
Gonna be hard, but
we're going to have 9 guests, 9 sets of giveaways, all sorts of, how did you say that? Number alliteration, numerical.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. Everything's 9s, 19s, whatever we can do with a 9. So we are super excited that you're with us today, and just hang in there with us for the whole time and listen up, because we have some questions at the end that you need to know the answers to in order to win some giveaways.
Yeah. All right. So are we just going to kick this thing right off, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's kick off day 1, Athena, with just a little trip down memory lane, and take just a few minutes, because we only have 19 total. So just take a few minutes and share with those who may not know how Redemption Press came into existence 9 years ago, way back in 2014.
Well, pretty much I was in the hospital in San Antonio, Texas, having gallbladder surgery, and heard that the company I used to own had closed their doors. And while I was still recovering from that surgery, my former landlord called me and said, Athena, would you come back to Enumclaw and help all these authors that are stranded without a publisher? And that was one of those things that I already told God, I'm never, ever going back to Washington. You can't make me. So you can see how well I did with that declaration to him and the ultimatum that I made. He laughed, I'm sure. And so it was a very surreal time of God bringing me back to Enumclaw in 2014 and just giving back everything that I had lost. And it was just a pretty amazing moment to see him rebirth my career in publishing, and just a new company that really does, just the name of the company being Redemption Press is just what it's all about. And it's just been an amazing time to look back on what he's done over these 9 years.
Wow, that's so good.
So I'm going to segue into the next segment, because I'm going to share, and every time we're here with you on these 9 lives, we're going to share a fun fact about Redemption Press. And so our first one today is one of our first books that we published as a publisher under the banner of Redemption Press. We actually have the author here with us today, Ann Griffiths, but basically, she and her co-author, Donna Inglis, drove down from British Columbia to just jump in, roll their sleeves up, and jump in and help us get things going, and calling authors. And it was just amazing for them to come and be part of that. And just at the very beginning. So I'm going to show you the 2 books that one of the very first 2 books that we published, probably in the first 5, I'm thinking. So very, very early on. The first one was A Mentor's Fingerprint, and that was by and done English. And then this one was just by Anne, Grandma's Fingerprints. And so these both got published at the same time in those first few months of Redemption Press's existence. And so I'm going to ask Carol to lead a conversation and some questions with Anne so we can hear a little more from her.
Yeah. So, Anne, how did you? We're so glad you're with us, by the way. We love you and your support of Redemption Press, and, just that we get to serve with you with this team. So, how did you discover that Athena had started the publishing house, Redemption Press?
I'm not sure of the answer to that, other than Athena and I had stayed in contact as much as possible. And so I had been following along what was happening through different, not just through Athena, but I was tracking it online and stuff like that. And so I think that was I just knew. And so when it became apparent she was going to start another company, it just was a no-brainer to me. So,
right. So you had published with her before at Wine Press.
Yes.
So what was it about Athena and her company that really wanted you to go ahead and use them again for your next couple books?
Well, it's interesting because the very first time that I met Athena, I didn't have anything published, and from the get-go, she was so supportive. She saw something in me that I wasn't ready to see quite yet, but wanted to, and she just encouraged me, was always there to help whatever she could do, and so supportive. And we basically developed a friendship through it all. And it was just very, very special. And so I just knew, as a matter of fact, when she first made the announcement she was going to start this new company, Donna and I had a conversation because we had been following everything that had been said. And we made the decision. That's when we made the decision. If we're going to jump into this, we're going to jump in big. So that's what caused us to go down to Enumclaw to just do whatever we could to help. And so we had a lot of fun doing that because it was basically making phone calls to past authors and all kinds of things like that, just rolling up our sleeves and doing whatever. So it was fun.
I love that. I'm sure that Athena, you probably will attest to it, that appreciated just the support and help, especially back, not really knowing what she, what she was going to find and how she was going to manage it. So
I'd like to add, Carol, that Athena's integrity throughout everything just really spoke loud and clear. And I think that's so important to be able to trust someone who is authentic and trustworthy when you're putting out your writing there, you're writing out there. It's so important. And so I appreciate that very much about Athena.
Agreed. I think that a lot of many of our authors would say the same thing, because it's really challenging as an author in this publishing industry to determine who we're going to go with and why. And so her character does attest to that for sure. So, and Anne has a new book that just came out. In fact, she's taking it with us to the Christian Product Expo in just a little over a week or 2 weeks, I guess. And that is Reignite Your Leadership Hearts. We're excited to launch that into the world.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being here and
You're welcome.
Being part of the journey that Redemption Press has been on.
My pleasure. I look forward to the next 9 or 19 or 90 years.
Go girl.
Yeah.
Number, what is that? Oh, the numerical alliteration.
Yes.
Got that going on.
And we're going to be giving that. I think we're giving that book away as well, right? Is that the book we're giving away?
One of them.
Yeah. So stay tuned. All right. But before we go there, Athena, so we could definitely spend hours reminiscing over the last 9 years, or you could spend those hours reminiscing. But I know that you have zeroed in on just some key milestones that have taken place since 2014. So why don't you share some of those with us?
I will. Really, the first 2 years were a blur. I mean, not only was I in the middle of getting married to my Prince Charming, so that kind of made it a little blurry, but just really trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this to really be able to serve authors in a way that is unique in an industry that even then was already very predatory. And so it was during 2014 that we got a chance, because we were helping a bunch of authors get back into print. That gave us a little bit of time to actually think, okay, how are we going to do this and do it differently and do it where it really helps the author? So that was where we developed our model of not having packages, but really customizing everything that we do for our authors. Then in 2016, we were actually named #1 in a book called The Fine Print of Self-Publishing, where the author Mark Levine every year came out with a book and showed where all the different publishers that were helping authors self-publish, where they ranked in how honest they were, how, whether their models were really serving the author or serving the publisher. So that was an exciting highlight. In 2017, we signed a contract with the Women of Joy tour to promote our authors on that tour, which was a big deal for us. It was a big leap of faith. And then in 2018, we learned, in fact, from the Women of Joy tour, the importance of protecting one's reputation as a company, because we saw Women of Joy look through and do their due diligence on every single author we brought on that tour and promoted in the magazine on that tour. They made sure that they could stand behind what they were saying in their books. And that just taught me so much, because if we publish something and we don't really endorse what that author's saying, that's a big mistake. That's risking our reputation. So that was a huge kind of aha moment that really came in 2018. That's when we brought on our managing editor, Dory Harrell, to really raise the bar of what, how we were going to require the editing that a traditional publisher would, to make sure the product that we were promoting really was quality. Then in 2019, we were chosen to publish the companion product for the Unplanned movie. That was huge for Redemption Press. And we also began having authors winning awards, which hadn't happened up until that time. And then in 2020, we published our very first She Writes for Him compilation. And we also kicked off our first virtual event that then turned into another 3 or 4 or 5 virtual events during the rest of 2020, which was a huge pivot for us. Mm-hmm. And then in 2021, we were named Best Christian Workplace by the Best Workplace Institute. And that was a huge, just affirmation and encouragement to us. And then in 2022, we updated our statement of faith and kind of drew some lines in the sand, because there's so much out there that is not really doctrinally sound. And we also then partnered with Logos Bible Software to make sure that our authors were learning how to make sure they're quoting scripture in context and quoting correctly. So those are the highlights I think of when I think of those first 9 years of business as Redemption Press.
Wow. Well done. Great summary.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think we're going to give away some books, right?
We are. So we're going to ask some questions. And the first person to answer the question in the chat gets to win. So you want to go ahead and announce what the winner will get? Yep.
The winner's going to get Anne's book, Reignite Your Leadership Heart.
So what is the name of Anne's first book? Michelle, if you can man that chat, that would be great, because I'm doing something else. So
absolutely.
So let's see who can answer.
You remember?
That. We need to have a little ding, 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 ding. So, were people listening?
All right.
Uh-oh. Not a very memorable title, maybe.
All right, here we go. Joy. winning.
There.
Okay.
Joy
And
won.
there's
Yay!
Joy wins.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, Joy, you beat out
Well done,
Claudia.
Joy.
So,
She
hey,
got the first
hi,
two.
Claudia.
All right, so let's see. Here's the next
Right.
question. Oh, what are they going to win?
Oh, the next person's going to win Together for a Purpose by Dr. Ross Holtz and moi, his wife.
All right, so who did Redemption Press go on tour with to promote our authors?
Okay. Do, do,
Was it?
do, do, do.
Was it
Somebody
Jeff
must know this.
Can I answer?
If nobody else does, maybe.
Surprise.
And you win. All right. Come on. What tour was it?
Come on, people. You had to hear that.
Anne
Anne
Griffith.
Griffith.
Oh, there we go.
Ah,
Joy.
okay. Well, we
Oh,
can't
wait a minute. Kathy got it first. Sorry, Kathy. There we go.
see.
All right,
Women of Joy, Kathy.
All
all
right.
right. Together for a
Shout out,
Purpose.
Kathy.
All right, here's the last question. Y'all need to get a little bit quicker on the type for this. Okay, so we're going to win, of course, Athena's memoir,
Which
Full
full circle, which is going to be a collector's item because I've updated this. We changed the cover, took my picture off the cover, and put a bench on there and some water, which is very appropriate. So, what's the question?
question is, who does Redemption Press partner with to help authors write with biblical accuracy?
All right.
Really short.
No, somebody knows that.
Somebody's got to know it.
I
Come on,
already
you
said it.
There you
Oh,
go.
Well,
Joy's right on the ball.
so I don't
She's
know.
dominating.
Let somebody win twice, or do we let somebody else see
You
if
the
it's them
answer.
to answer it?
I think
Oh, her husband said it too.
Okay, so all right, so Joy's husband gets to win my book.
Joy's quick on the draw.
Yeah. Tell you what, and Claudia, we're gonna let you win it too. How's that?
Yay. All right.
right.
Claudia, you win too.
Like your book to arrive at your house, you need to DM Shelly with your address. So go to the Messenger app in Facebook and go to Shelly Brown. There's probably like 7 gazillion of them. So if you can't find Shelly's, you can go to Carol Tetzloff or Athena Daniels or Anne Griffith. Any of us, we're good.
We just need to know where to send the books.
Yep.
And let me just say one last thing while we wrap this up, because we have about 40 seconds.
I know
Wait,
we're
we have
doing
a minute, 19 minutes.
Did we keep it to 19 minutes?
We're at 18:30.
Oh my goodness.
I know, but the first 30 seconds was
Oh, that's true.
countdown. So
Okay.
I just have to say that we're going to have an anniversary special. I'm not going to tell you all about it tonight, but we are going to announce later in the week something that is for all authors. You don't have to be a Redemption Press author. It's for any author. And it is a new marketing strategy that is unknown and rarely implemented in the industry that we have created as an affordable way for you to get new traction for the book you already have in print. So stay tuned, be with us every day, except for Sunday. We're going to give you Sunday off, and be back with us tomorrow at 4:00 Pacific, right here on the Redemption Press Facebook page and everywhere else it is. I guess it's a lot of places, but
All over.
I think we did it.
Woo!
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.